Hello, Gali.
Hello, Abale. We're back on another Tuesday.
Yes, yes, we are back. It's Tuesday, and we are back, and we keep every Tuesday, and this is quite amazing.
It is. We've been so surprisingly consistent.
Yes, we have been
It's
so
been
good.
amazing. It was so good. So good. Amazing. So, okay, today's subject that we'll dive right into is the subject of punishment. Now, I know that you literally asked me just before we started, what is the subject? And I just said punishment. That's all you know. So I have questions about the subject. And
Okay.
where it actually came from was you had spoken about it before, and one of the students said this could be a great topic for a live. It would be very
Ah,
interesting to do a whole subject about a whole discussion about the subject of punishment.
yeah.
So that's where it came about. And the whole concept behind the talk is I think the natural impulse for people is to punish.
Yeah.
They feel that someone did something wrong to them, they're going to punish them. They feel that there is, I don't know, something that they don't like in a person. If they act a certain way that will punish them or show them that they don't like it, that will fix them.
Yeah.
So punishment seems to be the way that people go to fix problems, and it seems right. So, what is your take on the subject? And let's discuss it and dive in.
Okay. So let's look at the children. Okay.
Yeah.
You take children, and the children do things that the parents don't like, and they punish them. And the more they punish the child, the worse the child get.
Yeah.
Did you notice? Like you take a child, and the more you punish him, the worse he gets. On the
It
other hand,
definitely. Yeah.
if you take a child and you don't give him any kind of limitations, which mean there is no way for the child to overcome barriers, you also destroy.
Yes.
Yes. So punishment is something that do not work. Let's look at adults. The more you punish people, the more you have criminals. There is an actual study that shows that when the punishment is extreme, like when people cut your hand if you steal chocolate, or if you speed, they give you back two hands. So if you speed, they, I don't know, take your eyes out or whatever. Like when the punishment are really cruel, statistically, it does not improve the number of criminals. It makes them wrong. It makes them more.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So punishment do not work. And the question is, why will anyone punish? You will see that who do you punish? People don't punish inanimate object. Like, for example, if the stone is involved in an accident or a car involved in an accident, you don't punish the car. You punish the driver.
Yes, although sometimes I don't know, something goes wrong with your phone and you throw it to, I don't know, people want to throw it against something or whatever.
Yeah, but you don't punish the phone. You punish yourself. You end up
I guess
without the
that's
phone.
yeah, that's true. You end up without a phone. Yeah.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
just an insane action. Yes. So basically, punishment is an effort to prevent past communication that is always unsuccessful.
Hmm.
Punishment is an effort to prevent past communication. Why do you punish the driver and not the car? Because the car did not communicate, the driver did.
Right.
Why do you
Right.
punish a child? Because he did something in the past. So what you try to do, you try to say, look, that communication was not good. So punishment is an effort to stop communication.
Yes, I can see that for sure. So, but before we dive too much into that concept, let's break it down into sub things. So, for example, where does punishing, let's say, an animal fit in here? As an example, like I don't know, people want to, I don't know, the dog choose the dad's shoe, and now the mom goes and hits the dog to show the dog not to chew the shoe or something. Okay,
Okay.
would that be right or wrong?
Well, let's have a look. Does it work?
I mean, I'm not for hitting the dog, and no, even with animals, it doesn't work. But
It's not the ideal solution because you don't get a better animal. He might stop chewing the shoes, but he will stop also being in communication with you.
yeah, you
So
become scared. Yes, pull away.
yeah, he will get scared. He will not. So if we look at dogs and if we look at people, and if we look at children, which is people, just with small bodies, and if we look at anything that is alive, punishing do not bring the expected result. It may stop communication and make the other side smaller and meaner, but overall, it doesn't bring an improved society.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't bring an improved society. So when you punish another person, what you're trying to do, to him what you don't like him that he done to you, but worse. So someone hit you, and now you say, well, I got pain, so I want to give him more pain because I don't like pain.
True. Yeah.
Yes, like if you really look at that, you say, this guy did something bad to me. I don't like this thing. It's wrong. So I'm going to do it to him to prove to him that it's wrong. It's insane.
100%.
And it's
100%.
actually degrading the person that punish, because the person that punish is never actually satisfied because he knows now that he did something that he considered not okay. So he now deteriorated.
Right. I see that. But the thinking is, somebody, let's say, hits you and you think that they don't even realize how much it hurt. I'm going to hit them so that they see that it hurt. And then they get hit, and the effort is to show them how it feels, because you're thinking
so maybe I would show it to you in a different way. Let's say I argue with you. Okay?
Yeah.
And you shout at me, and I shout at you back, and I tell you, don't shout at me.
Right.
Do you see the insanity?
100%. I see the insanity.
So I'm not actually showing you that it's wrong. If someone hit you and you hit him back, you don't actually showing him that is wrong. He know when he's doing something wrong. You're just blocking from him the ability to recognize independently that he did something wrong. And at that moment, he will justify the action. You will deserve the punch, even if you don't. And at that moment, you blocked any possibility of improving the other person. And if you hit him, now you committed a sin that you're trying to prevent. So now you become as criminal as the other person, but you feel that you are right, so it's okay for you to commit the crime. The basic idea is like that. Everyone lies. Everyone do bad things. Everyone do things that are not okay. But there's something really interesting. If I lie to you, from your viewpoint, it will be terrible. How can I lie to you? But if you lie to me, it will be white lie. You will paint it yourself. Yes?
Yeah, true.
If someone steals from you, it is the end of the universe. If you steal from someone else, you will see that it's not so bad. How do I know that it's not so bad? Because you're doing it.
Yeah.
If you do something from you, in your viewpoint, it's not so bad.
Right. And you always have a perfect reasoning as to why you specifically stole, because of whatever. You have, my kids were hungry.
There is a justification. There's a justification. It's not exactly a reasoning. It is a justification.
Yes, that's true. I can see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair enough. I do understand that idea of somebody does something and you do something back to show them how bad it was, but it's bad in the first place. So why are you doing it? I definitely understand. Now
Yeah. So,
with that,
so
yeah.
punish people, punish other people only for one reason.
Hmm.
It's not to show them how bad it is. It's not to try to fix them. It's nothing. It is basically they don't know how to help the other person. So someone steals from you, you don't know how to fix it. You don't know how to handle it.
True.
You're total effect.
Right.
So instead of becoming more cause and actually finding a way to fix it, you say he is at fault. You make him cause and you become an effect. You've got a teacher at school and the children don't listen. She doesn't know why they don't listen. She has no idea.
Hmm.
How do I know she has no idea? They continue to do that the whole years, not 1 year,
Yeah.
many years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what does she do? She doesn't have the real reason for the problem. So she tried to break the problem. So it's a guy that got upset with the phone. He doesn't know how to fix the phone. So he breaks the phone.
Right.
Punishment is insane because it degrades the punisher and the punished.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
never solves anything.
Hmm.
Nothing. It doesn't
Right.
actually help.
I can see that. And I totally agree with the idea that it just is an indication that the person doesn't have the solution to actually help to find the actual source and fix the problem. That makes
Yeah.
100% sense. I think the question would be, let's just take an example with a kid that you are, let's say you take the kid to a birthday party, okay? And then when it's time to leave the birthday party, the child doesn't want to leave. And it's like, it's time to go. You said you would go when it's time to go, and you're not going. So now I'm not going to take you to another birthday party next time because you aren't behaving correctly. So you'll learn that there's consequences for not doing it, right? That's like the typical line of thinking. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. And how many times, number one, the parents can actually uphold that decision?
Oh, like actually not
Actually,
take
not
them.
take him.
Yeah.
Yes. And number two, if they don't take him, do the parent actually got what they want? They want the best for the kid. And now they
Mhm.
don't take the kids to birthday parties that are so important for him and for his development. So you say, you know what? I'm going to shoot my foot in order to fix you.
Right. Fine.
Stupid.
And that's true. That's actually very true. But what do you do then? I mean, what does the
Okay.
parent do? Like, how do they get the child to then actually leave on time, understand the consequences?
First of all, the punishment do not work. Okay. First of
Okay,
all,
the
punishment do
principle.
not
Yeah,
work.
the
It's not the
principle is
pun.
fun. Yeah.
It's the principle is it doesn't work. What you do, you fix the actual problem. The parent don't know how to be a parent. The parent
Mhm.
never had a book that teach him how to become a parent. So he has an opinion and he says, well, I will not do what my parents did. So he's doing everything the opposite. Or I will do what my parent did. Or he will say, I will do what my mom's did, but not my father did. But then you end up doing what the neighbor's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Hmm.
don't know. They never learn how to drive a car, so they don't drive the car. They have accidents. So
Right.
what you actually need to do is to learn how to become a parent. Do the family academy and 50 lessons, and you become a certified parent.
Yes. Got you. That
You
yeah,
need to
true.
learn.
People
You
need
need
to
to
learn.
learn
They
how to
need to
become a
learn.
parent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Fair
So
enough.
if a
Okay.
person need to punish, he actually admit that he is useless in that area. If you need to punish your employees, you are useless as an executive. If
Hmm.
you need to punish your congregation, you are useless as a rabbi.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because a good rabbi have the willingness of the people. He does not need punishment. A good teacher have the willingness of the children. We had at school teachers that we torture, and we had one teacher that we would do anything for her.
Yeah.
She had our willingness, and we would die for her. And for the other teacher, we tortured him,
Yeah.
and he punished us, and we tortured him more, and he
Yes.
punished us more, and we both lost.
Right. So how do you, because that one teacher that everybody loves, that, in my opinion, a lot of times that's just something that it's a teacher with just a great personality. It's just, there's something about them that is just, you relate to
She
them.
knows something that the other person don't know.
True, yeah, fair.
She knows somehow to melt resistance by admiration and not by force. She knows that she has this viewpoint of the children always have good intention and sometimes bad result, and she put her attention on the intention of the child, and the child knows. You know, you can be in front of someone and he can tell you, you know, I really love you, and you get shivering. Oh no, this is dangerous, run. Yes.
Right. Yes.
And you can be next to a person and he don't even have to tell you I love you, and you melt.
Right.
Because the communication, the children know, the people know, the words do not actually carry the message. The carrying wave of the communication carry the message, and if the person punish is because he has the viewpoint that you are bad. He had the viewpoint before you did something bad. Because otherwise, if I have a child and he's doing something bad, because I love him, my whole being is not to punish him.
Right.
For me, he's perfect. Like my child can shoot someone and I will be very 100% sure that the camera is broken and someone have here deep fake, and I will prove it and I will fight for it for years.
Yeah.
Because I love my child. So this is the viewpoint, yes? So if someone get to a point where he punish, long before that, he hated that person, even without meeting him. He has a viewpoint of I hate, they're bad. The next class, the teacher have this viewpoint, oh, all those children, they're terrible. And the next class will be definitely terrible, and I will have a problem.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. And by the way, I fully agree and I fully get the concept, but just for the sake of hearing your answer, I have another question for you. So let's take it to relationships. And in a relationship, you have situations where, let's say on a minimum punishment level would be, I don't know, the silent treatment.
Okay, so this is where you're married. I mean? Like if you're married or something. Yeah, of course. Yeah. In marriage, there's an exception. You need to punish her all the time.
Yeah, more correctly, punish him all the time. Yeah.
Oh, she punished you. Yeah, in marriage, it's an exception.
Yeah, exactly. But that's true. But joking aside, though, so you have on a minimum level, and it's so common in relationships that the one wants to punish the other. Let's say it's a minimum of the silent treatment where you just don't want to speak, or I don't know, a maximum could be you do the same thing that the person did to you. So if, as an example, I don't know, you cheated, so she cheats to show you how bad, you know what I mean? So what do you do with that? Because again, it's just punishment, right?
So let's have a look. Have a look. You've got the silent treatment. How does it solved? By talking.
Eventually by talking.
Getting into communication. Yes.
Yeah.
So the purpose of war is peace. So why don't we first go to peace without the bullets?
Right.
You understand? So when you have that, yes, I know people do that. That's why they get married. But People do that, but it
So
doesn't
they
mean
can
that
have some
it's
silence.
yes, exactly. So people do that, but it doesn't mean that it actually works or it's correct.
Right.
People smoke weed. It doesn't mean that it's correct. People drink. It doesn't mean that it's correct. People go to war. It doesn't mean that it's correct. People do that because people do sometimes sane things. Most of the time, they do insane things.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so people do
Right.
insane things, yes, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that it's correct. If you will observe why you don't talk to her, because she didn't talk nicely to you.
Right. Right. Yeah.
You wanted to talk, so you don't talk. It's like totally cuckoo.
It is. It's very reverse. And I remember when you first explained this concept years ago, and it was like, that's so true that you do what you didn't want done to you. So you do it to prevent it from happening to you. It's like,
Yeah,
it is a very twisted
it's
kind of way of
twisted.
handling,
It's
and everybody
twisted.
does that. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been punished for communicating, and you're as
Right.
dead as you are not communicating. So
Mhm.
basically, someone tell you, "Look, die." When you punish you, it tells you die, and he expect you to die willingly.
Yes. Well, okay. So
And
what
oh,
actually,
and he and
yeah,
he
yeah.
and he want you to be alive. He punish you because he want to fix you. He want you to be alive better. But if you punish him for communicating, you punish him for living. So it's totally upside down.
It is very upside down. So I have another question though that came to me as we're talking. So where does consequences fit in? Because then you're saying live a life of no consequences. If
No.
you let's just say cheat, then there's no punishment. There's no you're all good. If you
Yeah.
know the kid
Yeah.
misbehaves, there's no punishment.
No. So there's no punishment for sure, but these agreements, okay? And these
Okay.
agreements that you get to a person, and let's say you say, okay, so you cheated me. Okay. You want to be with me? Yes. Good. I want to help you because I know that you don't feel good. I know you don't feel good that you've done it.
Yeah.
What do you want to do to make up the damage? Not what do I punish you. And you will see that the person will punish himself more than anyone else. There is no worse judge than you on you.
Yeah, right. That's
If you
very
want to
true.
find the devil against you, look at you.
Yeah, that's a great point. That if you're trying to give out punishment, the person's given themselves more than enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very good point. Yeah,
yes. It's like
true.
you will see that when you get a person, and if you have a true viewpoint of, listen, he's my friend, he did something terrible. Now it is the time for me to be his friend, not when everything is okay. And what does it mean now it's the time for me to be his friend? Is to know that he's basically good. He really have good intention, but he's got some twisted thing in his head like everyone else. And I need to help him to fix it, not to punish him, to help him fix it. Not by me punishing him, but by preventing him from punishing himself too much so he cut any ability, any future willingness.
Yeah, that's an amazing point of view. That's true. So with that idea, but you have a friend that let's say you get into business. Let's say they weren't even a friend, a partner, and they really screw you over. They steal money and they destroy things and they create a real problem. Now, how do you? I mean, the impulse is to punish them again. And I
Will
know
it
we
help?
said no
Will it
punishment.
bring back the money? Will it bring back the money? No.
No, it won't bring back the money. And maybe
Will
they'll
it?
repay it. I don't know.
If they will repay it because they're willing.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So the handling is number one. The handling, the sequence of handling is like that. When there's any kind of an emergency, stop the bleeding. Not by punishing, but stop the bleeding. Handle the situation, like fix the bleeding.
Yeah.
Then find out what you're doing to invite such nonsense happening to you.
Right. Yeah.
And then help the other person fix himself. Nowhere here there's punishment, because if your punishment do not work. So if you want pro-survival results, why should you punish? You have to be insane to punish when you can help.
Yeah, exactly. If you can help, it is insane to punish. I agree. So,
So
but
if you
isn't there a
still
point?
punish, it means that you cannot help. And if you don't help, you don't have the right to live, because the only right anyone have to live is because he can help. The only reason something exists is because it helps someone or something.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's very true. I agree. And so is there any point when you quote unquote punishment, right? But you say, you know what? I'm no longer that person's friend, or I'm no longer that group's friend. They did too much against me. So sayonara. And
Okay,
you know
not
what
a
I'm saying?
problem. Not a problem. You can leave a group as long as your hands are clean. You
Yeah.
can say, I don't want to support that group because what they do is not right. I'm not punishing them. I'm not talking badly about them. I'm just saying that I don't want to support what they're doing. I will help
Yes.
them from the outside.
Yeah. How do you do
Because
that?
internally, what they do is not right. But you have to have clean hands yourself. Because if you don't have clean hands yourself, you will have a strong urge to damage them, to punish them.
That's true. So how do you help a group from the outside, or even a friend who is doing things that are not okay, and you just say, you know what, I'm not supporting that, but I'll support you from the outside? How do you do that?
So you've got a friend and he's doing something really bad, and he somehow you got to a position where there's no communication anymore. He doesn't want to talk to you. You want to talk to him. He doesn't want. So you find out who is actually is he talking to, who is his opinion leader, and you talk to him, and you affect him, and you make sure that he would get the communication to him. That's number two. Number one, what you do, you clean yourself. You find, okay, so what do I do? That's why I say, if there's a group that you want to disconnect from, you need to have really clean hands. So you can really disconnect from that group without the urge to damage them. How do you know if you have a clean hands? You have the urge to damage. If
Right. If
I
you have the
find
urge to
fault with
damage,
you,
you're dirty. Yeah. Yeah.
if you have an urge to damage, you're very dirty. You need like a good hose of like the fire department to clean you up or something.
Pressure wash. Yeah.
Pressure wash,
Dirty.
yes, with lots of chemicals.
Yes. Yeah. Got you. But how do you help a group like that from the outside? I understand talking to them and getting them the message to opinion leaders, but I'm saying, how do you help a group or even a friend who is doing some crazy stuff? How do you help them from the outside?
You yourself handling making sure your universe is clean,
Okay,
and
I
you
can see that
find
can help.
people
Yes.
around this friend, and you make sure that they will help that person to see what he needs to see, and you don't try to damage him. You still support him. You still promote the good things about him. Everything will be telling you hate him,
Right.
damage him, blah blah blah. But you need to know. You need to decide. No, I'm going to help him. I'm going to promote him. I'm going to tell only the good things about him. I will never say anything bad about him. I will never go behind his back and poison his environment. The opposite. I'll find everyone around and tell him how amazing he is and how unbelievable and how much I love him and how much I want to help him, and help those people to help him.
That's amazing. That's interesting. So you find the 5%, even though there's probably more, but the 5% that you can find which is good, and
No,
you
this is
just
usually 95% once you start to look.
right. That's what I
99.
mean. There's probably more, but you at the beginning think he's 95% bad, and there's only 5% good. So fine, take the 5% good that you see right now, and that's what you promote only, and probably then
Only,
it will
yeah.
expand. into
Yeah.
further good that you see. Yeah.
Yeah, if you think a person is his level of goodness when it below 99%, the problem is with you. If I think
I see.
if I think that you are not at least 99% good, the problem is with me, not with you. It's
Interesting.
counterintuitive, I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you have critical thought about someone else, if I think that you are 99% good, not 99.1, like if I go towards 98, 97, don't even start. I don't need to even start to look what's wrong with you. It's all me, 100% me.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
Wow.
easy, but it's true.
Yeah, it's a very high level of responsibility for sure.
Yeah. If I think
Amazing.
someone else is bad, like I don't see that he's really, 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 really good, 99%, and he has a scratch. Okay, fine. So I will help him to fix it. If I think that it's 98%, something is wrong with me.
Amazing. That's amazing. So with that point of view in mind, also, that's why would you punish someone who you see so much good in? So
Exactly.
which fits in perfectly. That's the point. Yeah.
If you
Amazing.
can, the only reason people punish is really because they don't know how to help.
That's 100% true.
They don't know how to help. They
That's the
really
bottom
want to
line.
help. They really want to help. They really want to help. What do I mean? You've got this guy, he's really bad. He's done so many bad things. What do you want? That he will not do those things anymore. You
Yeah,
want to show him.
fixing
So you
them,
want to help
fix-
him actually.
Yeah, help him. Exactly. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you don't fix the house by burning the house because you don't want it to get burned next time.
True. And that's a good example, because that's really what it's like. You burn the house to make sure it doesn't get burned next time, because you didn't like it that it burned the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
burn
true.
whatever left to make sure it will never burn again.
Yeah. It's true. It's very interesting. You're right. Yeah. Okay, so that's amazing. I want to answer some of the questions that I saw came through. Some of them might have already been answered. So I'll tell you what I can see from my side, because I know we sometimes don't see all the comments. What if the group doesn't actually care about the friend or want to help that friend because the group is out ethics and damaging?
Okay, so if you've been part of this group, you need to clean your hand. So you will see the good in that group despite all the bad. And so you will not have the urge to find wrong with them, but you will know, okay, this is wrong, it's fine, but I'm not going to kill them publicly and so on. And I will do whatever I can to still help them. And 99% of the time, if you think someone is bad, the problem is with you. Maybe I'm exaggerating, not 99%. 99.999999999% of the time, if you think something or someone is bad, it's you.
Wow.
It's not the other person. It's not the other group.
Yeah, that's like everybody listening is like, oh shit.
But if you will check, you will see that you if you think right now about someone that you have a problem with, if you really look, you will see you created it.
Yeah.
It's you. You could have fixed it. Now there is exception. There is really exception. There is some really bad people with bad intentions out of this world, literally out of this world, that want to destroy and blah blah blah. Okay, fine. I'm not saying that there's no evil intention on earth. There is. But in the usual day-to-day, 99.999% of the relationship of people is it's you. It's not the other person. It's never the person that you blame.
Right. Yeah.
Start with you have this urge to blame. The best handling is clean yourself. What did you do to that other person? What are you hiding from him?
Yeah.
If you just answer these two questions, things will sort out.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. That's big. So same person, Dustin here, is asking, what about groups like Nazis, groups like that? So would they fall into the category of
Yeah, but
just
they're
those are
extremists.
evil, extremely
Like
evil? And we're talking about like this.
extreme groups. But how many of us meeting Nazis in the day to day? And even when the
Right.
Nazi was there, like really, the problem was not the Nazis. The problem was the people that actually supported them. The problem is not the
Right, the
group. The
mass.
problem is the people that
Well,
supported them.
yeah,
That it's if each person will clean his hands, then it will be fine.
right. Yeah, 100%.
You have
Great.
a
And then
bad government. It didn't come from nowhere. You voted for it. Or at least you closed your eyes and mouth for a long time when you saw everyone going crazy. You didn't talk. You didn't do something about it.
yeah, that's very true. Totally, totally. Anissa says, after 8 years of hearing you say this, I've finally come to a point that I find this to be totally true and I can actually confront it. Love you for teaching this. That's incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wild. And Anita said, love that. You don't fix the house by burning the house so it won't burn the next time. Yeah, that's incredible. And yes, there was a couple other comments from Anissa, which I think we answered already. And thank you, Dustin. And Lisa asked, so how do you help a child whose parent punishes them on a regular basis? So how do you help the child that gets punished?
Yeah, you make him more cause. You get the child, you sit with the child, and you give him tools to become more cause. So the parents are really nasty to the child. I will teach the child to actually acknowledge the parents, because the parents are cuckoo and they never actually been acknowledged. So they don't understand. They're trying to get the acknowledgement from the child, from the chair, from the car, from the walls. That's why they run into walls, yes? So I will teach the child, for example, how to acknowledge the parents properly. And actually, it will be therapeutic for the parents, because the child will heal those parents. Usually, when the parents punish the child, is because they have not been acknowledged.
Wow. I can see that. Yeah. So just even teaching the child to just be there
Yeah.
comfortably in the situation is like major. Yeah.
But you can, the basic idea is you need to be totally certain that punishing back do not work and punishment do not work. Your viewpoint is, okay, good. So something happened. How do I make one of the sides, the one that I'm with, it's not important who, more cause? Why? Because while it takes two to create a problem, it takes one person to solve any problem. It's really fascinating. While it takes at least two people to create a problem, it takes one person to solve any problem. Why? Because problem is force counter force. Two sides pushing. If one side stop pushing, against who am I going to push?
Yeah. Right.
The extreme example is you have a problem with the person, and like big problem with the person. You argue with him, fighting that, and he died. He's not pushing anymore. He's gone. The problem is gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he decided, never mind through an insane method, that he's not going to push anymore.
Yes. Yes. True. Very true.
Yeah. It's really amazing.
Yeah. And Lisa said, wow, yes, acknowledging the parent who punishes. Very powerful. Yeah. And then Anissa asked, can I acknowledge the parent so the parent stops punishing the child?
Yeah. If the parents will sit with you and you will actually acknowledge them about the unacknowledged cycle, yes, of course. Proper acknowledgement in a communication is therapeutical. It's one of the most therapeutical things, just acknowledging a person, because all a person wants is to be understood. You see,
Right.
all those fighting is, you don't understand me, you don't understand me, you don't understand me. People want to be understood. Acknowledge them, so they know that you understand them, and they will do anything for you.
Yeah, I can see that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And then I'll tell you on my side, I just saw that Anna's here and Harold is here, and they were kind of talking a bit. And that's all the messages I see. And I know that there's more. Just I don't always
Yeah,
see them on my side for some reason. And in
it's fine.
case we missed it, yeah.
I
Anyway,
think we saw most of the messages, and
yeah,
yeah,
that was great. That was very, very, very powerful and
it was more than
totally
20
life changing.
minutes.
More than 20 minutes, 40 minutes. We got 2 lives for the price of one. That
And
was
Dolly
great.
says,
Dolly,
"Love you both," and I love you
love
both.
you
I love
too.
you, Dolly.
And that was great. So thank you, Abale. That was awesome, amazing, super
Thank
powerful.
you.
Again, everyone needs to see this. So if you're watching, share it, send it in an email, put it on WhatsApp, get people to watch this. This message, I really feel that like people need to understand this. It's life changing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Gali, I love you. I love
Thank
you. I
you.
love you.
Love you. Love
Mwah.
you.
I love you, Baba. Love you.
Bye, Abale.
Bye. Bye, mommy.